Journeyman, how we doing, everybody? Figured I would check in, make a video, and for the people that's not seen my videos yet, go check them out. To the people who has seen my videos, you guys know how much this wall has grown over the past couple of years. So thanks for your support, and let's just jump into the topic of discussion. Let me wet my whistle first. Well, before I get started, I wanted to tell the story of really who I am and what I stand for and where I've been and who I am now. So, where do I begin? I was born from a family entrenched in addiction. I was abandoned as a child. I couldn't read or write in the 12th grade. I self-taught and was able to come back from that. Abused physically, mentally. Exacerbated my own problems by having a self-limiting belief. My only goal in life as a child was to try to control the emotional state in which I was in. And the only way I knew how to do that was to inflict some sort of known environment upon myself, which was pain through physical exertion. Now, I'm diametrically different from my family in many ways. I'm the only one that exercises. I'm the only one that has a deep capacity for relationship building compared to my family, who are more reclusive and closed off. And that, without a doubt, hindered my ability to make meaningful relationships as I grew older. So I say all that to lay the groundwork of, if you're anyone like me, who has lived in quiet desperation for a very long time. I did until about 2 years ago, right? Hell, to be honest, I did it for at least until last year, where I started reading all of these, I have close to 100 books now over emotional intelligence and the positive power of negative thinking and just self-development books about your mind and stuff like that. So you may be wondering, well, Christian, that sounds like a pretty shit childhood, but boohoo, childhood trauma. Congratulations. What did you do? And what is your message? Well, my message is this. Just because you don't have a say in the family that you're born in does not mean that you can't create the family that you never had through people. They don't have to be blood. So what did I do? How did I get over that childhood-filled adversity? Well, to understand that, you have to go back a little bit, right? Because this goes back to like controlling my environment, controlling the echo chamber within through physical pain inflicted deliberately. And that gave me a sense of control of my environment. And when you control your environment and there's not a lot of unknowns, it's easier to seem more resilient than someone that is unprepared. And I'm not saying I was prepared by doing that. That was just my method in which I adopted. And that was the only way that I could, again, control the outcome. But that's not being prepared, right? Being prepared is someone that looks at the problem and doesn't run to run, basically. If that makes sense. So what I turned to was just controlling my environment as much as possible, not being prepared. So if you're like me and you struggle with an addictive personality and OCD and OCPD, obviously, look at this wall, PTSD, depression, manic episodes, been diagnosed with all of them, taken a lot of medication. I don't take any anymore. But if you're like me, what happens when you run 75 miles in 24 hours and you still don't feel good about yourself? What happens when you have this big wall behind you and you have all these life lessons on it and you still don't feel good about yourself some days? What happens when you ride 523.9 miles in 5 days and you still have doubts? You still have the void, something that's trying to fill the void through achievement. And what I adopted last year was this. And this will help you. It helped me. Hopefully it'll help you. If it can help me, it can help you. If you really want to do something, if you really want to do something and feel good about it, this is what you do. You no longer look for the achievement. Instead, you see the progress, the daily commitment, the deliberate action that it takes to fucking achieve big things. That's what you do. See, when I was a child, my mother was drastically different than from home to work life. She worked in HR at Costco, and I would go and see her. I would run as a child like 5 to 10 miles round trip to get there. And for a split second, I would get her attention and she would ask me, "Christian, did you just run here?" And I would say, "Yeah, I just came here to say hey, give you a hug, whatever." Sweaty, smiling because I got to see my mom in her heightened state. And then I would run back. And during my runs back and years of doing that, I internalized something. And I can trace this kind of theme of the video back to this moment where in order to gain my mother's attention span, I internalized that I had to achieve something big for her to get attention. The Iron Man, distinguished honor graduate at Ruck March champion at Airassault School, the 500 bike ride, the 75-mile ride, I don't even talk about Tucson yet, but that's the next video. The Fort Irwin first place TT race, all these books, the 248-page manuscript that I wrote. So achievement means nothing if you don't see the progress along the way. You're not going to learn anything. The progress is what teaches you the lessons. The achievement, the split second of like, yeah, I did it. Okay, what happens now? No one's around. No one really cares, right? You just go back to your house or your apartment or wherever you live, and that's it. All of that work for nothing. And it is nothing because you didn't extract the lessons along the way. You didn't learn anything along the way, right? Before I jump off here and end the video, I wanted to say, again, thank you to all the people that's been following my journey. And huge shout out to Nick. Love him to death. And as mentioned, I finished my manuscript. I'm working on getting the book cover design, the spine, and the back. So I'm super pumped up for that. It's been three and a half. I don't know how you do 3.5 in your hands, but 3.5 years of writing. And I don't consider myself a writer. I'm just a guy that's been through a lot of shit. And I feel like I can extract a lot of pain and recycled pain and pass down trauma to anyone who is looking for an outlet to help you process that shit. You know, I'm not a therapist or anything, but I've been to a lot of therapy. That doesn't make me qualified whatsoever. And I put my hands up because I'm not the guy. I'm just, my story could impact you in certain ways. So thanks for hanging out and listening to me blabber. And today's sticky note was 1 month free of alcohol. I decided to give it up completely. So I don't even like saying that I gave it up, but I just put it on the journey wall to let myself know that, hey, this is the process and this is the shit that we're doing to better ourselves this year. So, and then today, February 1st, is first day of no nicotine. So I was doing those little Zens things and I just kind of overdid it. So made me feel like shit. Those are out. Boom. So every month, this month is all about sacrificing for the betterment of others and myself. So you can't help others if you can't help yourself. And that's my decision to make sure that I'm helping myself and my body grow. So love you guys. Take care. Hope you learned something. See you on the next one. Journeyman out.